So I have a pleasure to introduce Lukasz Zelezny, and actually I've had the pleasure to speak with Lukasz at the same conferences.
Okay, I will try to be quite fast. Thank you very much for having me as the first. So this time I'm going to talk about social media and how to kind of squeeze a bit if you have no time and so on and so on. Like Alexandra said, I'm Lukasz Zelezny, living in London for last 10 years. So off we go. Working in a company called Uswitch. You can find me on the website Zelezny UK. You can also find me on LinkedIn and Twitter. So after presentation, let's stay in touch. It's always good that after we can have some, conversation online and so on and so on. This is how I structurize my presentation today. I will cover schedulers, automatization, a bit about the reach, and a bit about brand tracking. And just to be very clear and very direct with you guys, this is kind of like I will be your guinea pig. I will be sharing something that I was implementing in the last couple of years and that works. So that's are pretty much things that I kind of using, or I was using, or I will be using maybe, rather than things I read somewhere and then I'm just building presentation based on what I read. You always can go and read by yourself, but whatever someone discovered privately, maybe it's not as obvious. So I think that it will create an added value. So first tactic, schedulers, make me visible more. What does it mean? So obviously, there are lots of talks about content calendar, about being in the right place with the right time, and so on and so on. And obviously, that the day is only 24 hours, so you cannot spend all your 24 hours on social media. That would be pretty crazy. Some people are also asking me, like, Lukasz, you are so many times visible on Twitter or LinkedIn, on Facebook. You must spend all your life on social media. I was like, that's wrong. Actually, I'm using some tools, some tactics, some strategies just to, first of all, be with the right message in the right time, and also to give an impression that I am constantly there, because if someone will reply, then obviously I can then personally get there and start conversation. So schedulers, and for this example, I have a Hootsuite. Probably most of you heard, and probably some of you is using Hootsuite. A powerful platform. I'm always saying Hootsuite, and once again, Hootsuite. So Hootsuite got many functions, and I love built-in apps. I love the fact that you can plug so many different platforms. It can be LinkedIn, it can be LinkedIn, it can be fan page, it can be private profile, it can be Twitter, and so on, Instagram. But one of the very, very good function that I'm always use, and I'm always hungry to use, is a schedulers. And obviously schedulers, a simple function, very useful. So there is a CSV file you just need to upload, and this is how the CSV file look like. This is the American notation, so you can choose American or European notation, month, day, year, and then hour and minute, or day, month, year, hour and minute. And then in the column B, there is your message, when in the column C, there is your link. So you can easily see how the template look like, and it's very easy to prepare for yourself a list of messages that you will be sharing there on your channels. So take a look. This is my this is a screenshot from my scheduler, and you can see that Wednesday, Thursday is quite all right, and then Friday is quite busy. What was it? Friday, that was September 2015, Brighton SEO. I was very busy. I had to stay in the office. I was almost crying. I couldn't go there, but I was like, okay, I can be visible on social media with some message. And now I was thinking, like, what kind of message I can put there to attract the audience. I know that they are very SEO oriented. I know that they probably will be a bit nerdy and geeky like me, but I cannot share anything with about what they talking there, because I'm not physically there. So I was thinking for a moment, and I was like, okay, I think I know what type of message I could share. So once again, that was Friday, 18th of September 2005, and at 8 o'clock I started every half an hour posting something, and that was the first message which is visible here. How we did a screenshot in 1983, hash Brighton SEO. And what happened? 19 retweets, 31 favorites, recognized. I was like, this is the way to go. This is the way to go, because people there saw my message. They were constantly looking on the Brighton SEO hashtag. And doesn't matter that it wasn't strictly about what people are talking there at the stage. It was something that engaged people. Another example, the left side so-called laptop is what we would use 25 years ago. Hash Brighton SEO, 9 retweets, 6 favorites. Maybe not as much as the previous example, but still engagement was there. And the third, my favorite example, why Earth is the best planet? Because we have Wi-Fi and there is no Wi-Fi on Jupiter. And obviously we had 26 retweets and 33 favorites. So I was like, recognized, that really stick, that really matched the audience expectation. And despite from the fact it wasn't really about, about SEO strictly, it was kind of entertaining enough to give some reaction. So the question is how I know when to post things. In my case, there is a website called liner.com, but there are other websites, phillyWise.online.marketing, where you can see all the list of the conferences which are out there. And there was another one after the one I mentioned, after Brighton SEO. Another one was in October. It was Performance Marketing Insight 2015. And I knew that there is a PMI LDN hashtag. I think I can try to do a little, I have no graphic skills at all, but here is a PMI LDN hashtag. And I was like, all right, so 29th till 30th, we can again schedule something that will engage the audience. And I had once on my training a guy who said like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant because I'm selling bicycles, and in Hong Kong there is the big expo every year and I cannot go there because this is too expensive, too far, but I know what is the hashtag and I know what is the date. I was like, here we go, welcome. You can start scheduling messages with Hootsuite or Buffer. If you like Buffer as well, you can do this with Buffer. So that was about scheduling. The second tactic is automatization. And I love automatization. I am crazy about automatization. I will give you 3 examples right now. So there is if this then that. There is Zapier. I will use if this then that because it's, I think, a bit easier to present, how it works. So what does it mean if this then that? If something, there something. So there is like, you're preparing kind of a link between what happened and what needs to happen. So let me go straight to the examples that will be easier to understand. Hash journal requests, hash PR requests. That are religious hashtags in UK, and I think in US probably also. Every time a journalist wants someone to engage is using this journal request, PR request. What they're doing, they very often writing like, okay, have you been affected by recent energy price rise? Hash journal request, let me know. And probably they building some article. Or do you afraid, are you European citizen and you afraid of Brexit? Contact with me as we preparing article, hash journal request or hash PR request. And now I was thinking like, oh my gosh, this is amazing to get interaction with journalists. Rather than bombarding them with emails, I can try to track this journal request, PR request hashtags. And obviously there are some tools which are doing this, you need to pay, but hey, you can do this easily for free. So what I did, I just created a receipt, if new tweet from search, journal request, and social. So we can see here journal request, social. Again, my skills are like 3 years old, but I'm sorry, this is the best I can. Journal request, social, then send me email, lukasz@zelezny.co.uk. So if another one, if there is a journal request, and I'm doing this consciously, I'm not using even a hashtag. So if someone will forget to put hash, it still will be catched by if this then that. If journal request marketing, then again send me email. If journal request Polish minus nails, I was born in Poland, I'm Polish, but I know nothing about polishing nails. Okay, so I excluded word nails and nail, and I said everything what is journal request Polish, then send me an email. And finally, this is that the part I saw you, that was if this, and then we're going then that, then email, and in email I need to receive a text of the tweet and the username of the person who tweeted this. And this is how my inbox looked like. Pretty crazy, but I was quite excited. You see, I'm using also these emojis in the title line, so I know that this is from if this then that, Twitter via if this then that, Ribbon Fish Team, and so on and so on. I'm receiving these messages, and this is how the example one looked like. Ribbon Fish Team, how can publishers do marketing better? Expert needed to comment for article and ebook. PR request, journal request. So if I have something valuable that will create an added value to add, I can say, hey, Ribbon Fish Team, come to me, contact me, I will talk to you, and and then I have mention, maybe I have a link, maybe I have a future opportunity to work with them, and so on and so on. How can public? By the way, I'm taking photos like in 1983. So I'm taking a picture like that because I think like it makes convincing people more that this is a real screenshot. I didn't make this up. So how can publishers do marketing better? Expert needed to comment for article and ebook, PR request, journal request. Simple as that. Another example, flynews.com. I have no doubt that most of people love traveling. I'm crazy about traveling. Alexandra said I done 75,000 kilometers, but obviously that's the good part. The bad part is that flight tickets sometimes are expensive. So what is Fly News? Is a blog which is constantly tracking Skyscanner and so on, looking for super cheap offers. And sometimes there are crazy offers like flying to Tokyo for 300 euros. However, you need to fly there from Oslo and return to Zurich. But it's all right, yeah? And now, Fly News is there, and I cannot every day be there, but I can create an automatization, yeah? So I created, oh, by the way, this is how it looks, and I am not lying you that you can see here, multi-city flights from UK to Amsterdam and South Asia from 274 pounds. Bargain, almost nothing. Singapore, 243, and so on and so on. So, first of all, the question, do I really care about all destinations? Probably not. I like Japan, Thailand, Indonesia. So, I went to Feedreens and I took the original RSS and put to the Feedreens and I filtered this RSS and I said, show me, create a new RSS feed which contain only destination Japan, Thailand, and Indonesia. So Feedreens done this, and this is the finally the RSS feed I received. That's our only destinations I care and I would like to go in the nearest future. So then I created a recipe, if new feed from feedreens.com/service, blah, 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 blah. There is a number, then send me an email to Lukasz@zelezny.uk. So every time there will be a new item in this RSS I created, it's definitely item that contain Thailand, Indonesia, or Japan. So I want to have an email. Moreover, here on the right side, I really want to be sure that I didn't omit anything. So I want to have a message. And there will be, you can call me after this conference, that's my phone number. So you can, if this then that will send me a message, an SMS to my mobile. And voila, this is how my inbox look like. Again, I have another emoji here, a little fly news alert, and so on and so on. And this is how the email look like. So there is a bit of text, and then I have a link. I can see more where to go on the Fly News, and Fly News there will show me that, okay, go to Skyscanner, click that link, and you can book the ticket right now. This is how my phone look like. Again, I'm receiving messages straight to my mobile. So perfect. The third one is track your time. It's very interesting. So think about this. You can link another thing, which is Google Drive, Google Spreadsheets. So I linked my Google Spreadsheets and I said, okay, every time I will be in a specific area, then add if this then that will add one line to Google Spreadsheets. What is the area? The area is near in London, near Tower Bridge, which is visible in, this is Tower and here is Tower Bridge, because here is office of Uswitch where I'm working every day. And I was interested, how much time do I spend in this office? I really like my job, sometimes too much, and I'm spending a long hours there. So I said, if I am in that area and I put plus minus 800 meters, so when I'm going for lasagna for a lunch, then I'm not leaving this area, then create a thing in the Google Spreadsheets. And every day I'm getting there, one line in Google Spreadsheets is created. And when I'm leaving this area, another one line is created. And take a look. This is the spreadsheet. October, entered, exit, entered, exit, entered, exit. And finally, I could take this data and show you how much time do I spend in my office. And now, the orange line is how much I should spend, and the blue lines is how much I really spend. So I am a very devoted employee because almost every day I am more than I need. Because obviously I like to read and I like to find new things and so on and so on, that's why. But obviously I like my job as well. Reach a targeted customer, that's another tactic. So very simple, DuckSoup and LinkedIn. What is DuckSoup? It's a plugin that is working under Chrome, and every time you're visiting some profiles on LinkedIn, and daily you're doing this probably a lot, DuckSoup is trying to aggregate this in the form of spreadsheet. So I could install this and automatically and forget, and after a few days I came and it was 704 profile captured. What is DuckSoup trying to do is trying to capture as many things as possible. In the old LinkedIn there was much higher number of possibilities, because there was also a Twitter, sometimes a phone number, even the people who are not in your network. But now obviously LinkedIn changed the design, but it's still valuable. So you can export this to spreadsheets. I hope you forgive me that it's blurred, but obviously I didn't want it to share all the data of the people. I just, and you know, like someone said to me, isn't this a bit like stalking? I'm like, man, marketing is a stalking. It's a very sophisticated stalking, very sophisticated, but still stalking. And the second thing I said, if something is stupid but works, it's not stupid. So marketing shouldn't be beautiful. Marketing should work. And then what we have a spreadsheet with lots of data, very often with company name, very often with URL of the company, very often with name and surname. What we can do then? We can try to go with Email Hunter. What is Email Hunter? Amazing software. Right now they call this Hunter, but I like the name Email Hunter because that describes what I will be showing you right now. So think about this. This is the example. John Smith from example company. What email he can have? Let's say example company is example.com. Let me give you 3 seconds. Okay, so john.smith at example.com, johnsmith.example at example.com, maybe jsmith, and so on and so on. Think about this. This is how I see this. John Smith at example.com, john.smith at example.com, jsmith at example.com, smith at example.com. 95% of emails will be constructed like that. Think about yourself and your previous company was working, what email you had. I always had Lukasz.Zelezny at company name. Rarely Zelezny or rarely Lukasz. Even if my name is quite crazy and nobody can spell this properly. Yeah, and Email Hunter is there for you to find a way what is the real email. So you installing Email Hunter under Chrome as a Chrome extension. And think about this. This is like old LinkedIn, but that doesn't really matter. I just said, show me people who in title got social media, and they are located in Warsaw, capital of Poland, because that time I was going to Poland, and I had 155 results of people who have title containing social media. And also, back in the day, I could decide that there were entry level and training. Right now, I would need to probably upgrade my account, but generally 155 people. And now, what I can do from the top bar of Chrome, click, I'm opening Email Hunter, and click Find Email Addresses and save the leads. And I have, out of here is, I think, 8 or 7. You can see 7 people here. These people here been recognized correctly. Moreover, if you export this to CSV, export these emails to CSV, Email Hunter is trying to figure out the probability that Email Hunter was right. So if you see, Email Hunter will say, like, this is email of that person, and we are sure by 95% or 98%. That's probably perfect. If there is like 40, 30%, maybe you should exclude them. Yeah. And what you can do a lot of things. And the last thing is that I'm suggesting to start bombarding these people with newsletters. Just, sometimes you want specific person contact email. And that's our emails, the company emails. So these people are 8 hours in office, predominantly working always with emails. So no chance that this person will lose traction and will not at least see that email. So you can, politely approach a business to business, I don't know, we have a new platform, we have a new product, we have a new service, join, we organizing a meetup, and so on and so on and so on. Finally, previous presentation was a little about Twitter and Twitter and the audience. I'm using an application called Tweepy. So what is Tweepy? Think about this. First of all, let's choose a profile which is kind of similar to what I'm doing. So Trender. So Trender is a platform, social media platform. So I choose this, and I was like, okay, they have almost 6,000 followers. Probably these followers are similar to me. They like social media and so on and so on. And what I could do, I could load all these followers to Tweepy and say, okay, now Tweepy, exclude everybody except of these people who are speaking in Polish, tweeted in last 3 days, and have a proper avatars in their profile. And I have a list of people. Take a look, location, Poland, Warsaw, everywhere, Poland, but everywhere is written in Polish, so that's why, and so on and so on. Last tweeted a couple of hours ago, so definitely that's our live profiles, and so on and so on. And I can exclude them from the whole list of people that following So Trender, and I can do the same what I was doing before, contacting them, and so on and so on. Finally, LinkedIn and Facebook. So LinkedIn is amazing because I allowed you to export all the contacts to CSV. And what you can do with this, you're exporting to CSV, and in the CSV export, you have email addresses of all the people who are in your network, so are connected to you. And then what you can do, you can create a custom audience on Facebook based on emails from LinkedIn. And right now we're talking about private emails. So you can target with the same message people on LinkedIn and on Facebook. And I'm using this for some time. And this is the best tweet I had ever in my career. The guy, my friend Rido from Jakarta, that I met like 3 years ago, he sent me on Twitter that we've been on LinkedIn, yeah, so we've been friends on LinkedIn, but also on Twitter and on Facebook. And on Twitter, he sent me that on Facebook he see my advert, which is because from LinkedIn I took his details. So this is that this tweet is a pure proof that it works. That was kind of a sponsored post about my future conferences and so on and so on. The last thing is Crowdfire. Some of you may know. And again, if something is stupid but works, is not stupid, and marketing should work, not be beautiful. So direct messages still work for me. And every time someone is following me on Twitter, I'm sending message that, hey, thank you very much, but I'm also on LinkedIn, and this is how it looks from my side. The last part is a brand tracking, and I'm using a couple of tools. So here on the screen you have TalkWalker, Brand24, Fresh Web Explorer, and Google Alerts. I'm predominantly using these two, Brand24 and TalkWalker. TalkWalker, I had a trial version, but when it expired, it stopped. It didn't stop sending me alerts, so I'm quiet. I'm like, maybe they won't notice. Brand24 is amazing. And again, like I said, my name and surname is quite crazy, Lukasz Zelezny. Everybody is calling me Zelensky, Zelensky. And I wanted to change my name for Archibald Smith. I was like, enough. I don't want to be Lukasz Zelezny that nobody can spell it. But then I was like, hold on, that's brilliant, because there is probably only one Lukasz Zelezny. It's a Polish name, Czech surname, crazy. And I created brand tracking, and I put all my name and surname in different configuration, with space, without space, and so on. And after this is the 3 months time, 2015 January till March, and you can see that there was 2,575 mentions, predominantly on Twitter, but also some blogs and so on and so on. And what I could see, first of all, one day I was like that, and I was like, what is this? Because I saw article like that, and I was like, what is this language? And then I was like, hold on, that's probably Russian. I cannot read Russian, but I can understand a bit Russian. And I was like, how it happened? So what happened? These guys from ibusiness.ru took my article from LinkedIn, translated this, not asking me, even put this on their portal and put my name in the Latin. And I was like so grateful. I could say like, oh my gosh, guys, thank you very much, and so on and so on. And today we are sending postcard for Christmas. Now I'm joking, we are not sending Christmas postcard, but I'm grateful. I wouldn't know that if I wouldn't have a brand 24. So because I went a bit of the time summary, we talk about schedulers, we talk about automatization, we talk about reach, and we talk about brand tracking. That was me, Lukasz Zelezny, and I would like to say thank you very much for you.